Welcome to another video. And before I get into this video, I want to address this. What I said in a previous video, I think it was the video that it was a video that I did that was a message to casual YouTubers who will stumble upon my YouTube channel. And I think I said some things that rub some people the wrong way, and I noticed that I'm losing subscribers. I think I lost about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I lost 4 subscribers. So the subscription count to this channel was about 195. Then I lost, let's see, I think I lost 1 subscriber, then I lost another one, then I lost another one. So I'm not panicking or anything. I think it's because of what I said in a video that I just posted about Greta Thunberg as the Swedish climate change activist, as a pregnant woman. I think that video was kind of disturbing. I wasn't trying to be a pervert. I wasn't trying to be weird or anything. I'm just giving my thoughts on what I said. That's it. I mean, I'm not a pervert. I'm not any of those things. And I'm not going into the Jeffrey Epstein realm. And furthermore, this channel isn't being targeted by YouTube. This channel is not being targeted by YouTube. It's just a video that YouTube pulled and said that it violated their terms of service. I didn't get a strike or anything, so my channel's okay. So I made the decision, should I delete some of those older videos that I posted in the past, or should I let them stay up? So I don't know. So and I want to apologize for the things that I said to anybody that insulted them, that made them uncomfortable and creeped them out. You know, my mind isn't that great, and I sometimes say the wrong things. It's the fact that, I'm not getting enough sleep. That's basically what the problem is. So and I was stressed out in the past, so I'm not stressed out. So I'm learning to manage stress. So I'm keeping calm. I'm staying relaxed, like I am right now. So I don't need to get all upset or anything on every little things. I remember someone said this to me. I was talking to someone, which is my barber, who I get a haircut. He told me that, when I was talking to him, it was a barber that cuts my hair. I go to the barber shop and I cut my hair, and I was talking to the barber about people with nasty tempers, or people with a temper. And he told me that, those people, they got to realize that they can't control the situation. And people with tempers, they're like little radiators. And what they're doing, and them being angry and being a hothead and all, it affects their heart. So he was an old man. He was telling me this, and I kind of agree with how he puts it. So again, I want to apologize for that previous video that I posted about Greta Thunberg, and also on a video that's a message to the to casual YouTubers here on YouTube. I just want to say that my channel is not targeted by YouTube. My channel is fine. It's gonna stay up. I'm not planning on shutting it down. So I'm gonna continue posting videos and giving you guys the update of me bettering myself and want to move abroad. And moving abroad, I haven't been watching videos on YouTube from American expats on how to like move abroad. So I don't have a job right now, so I'm gonna eventually find one. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna save my money and plan on where I want to live, because I want to get out of the United States, because the United States is a very toxic, authoritarian, violent, out of control country. And 2 people in Minnesota were killed. Alex Peretti and Renee Good by ICE over President Trump's immigration policy. And Donald Trump just angering and pissing people off from other countries. Yeah, and killing the U.S.'s allies, like slapping tariffs and insulting them. And that spat in the Oval Office between Donald Trump and Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky, it was disgusting. And yeah, and also the cost of living, how expensive things are, and I'm having a hard time trying to avoid eating processed foods. I'm going to stay away from processed foods, and I'm going to stay away from foods that have a lot of artificial ingredients and toxins and GMOs and a lot of sugar. I want to stay away from that food, because food here in America is very unhealthy. And it's hard to eat right here. So, yeah, and the lack of social or human connection here in the U.S. Those are a lot of things that makes me want to leave the U.S. If someone wants to tell me, "Oh, why you want to leave America? Why you want to leave the United States? You have so much freedom here." Well, I don't have a lot of freedom here. I have less freedom, and there's a lot of people who live in the U.S. that don't have any, that have less freedom too. So you're not more free in the U.S. You're less free. Yeah, I want the freedom to be myself and be the real me without being judged and not being looked down upon. And be around people who have a sense of humor, and people who aren't serious and full of drama, and people who aren't like easily offended over every little thing. Yeah, an environment where people are friendly and down to earth, and people who are sociable, and where I can make friends, and where I can meet that special someone in a woman. And I gotta learn that I can't talk about my personal life and personal business here on YouTube. So I gotta learn. Learn about that, and I want to keep stuff like that off of YouTube. Keep my personal life and personal business off of YouTube. And I learned that from a YouTuber. I'm not gonna say his name is a guy. I'm not gonna say his name. So yeah. So that's all I gotta say in the opening of this video, and it's I think I'll spend a lot of time talking. So let me get into this video. Okay, back to the scene of the crime. All right, same room, but in the future, I'm going to be doing videos outside. There's going to be a change of scenery. So I think that will be my next video. So I guess you guys are probably bored at this. Bored at me like doing videos in a house. Yeah, is the fact that, everything's expensive. Everything costs a fortune in this country, and I really want to. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I really want to get. I really want to get out of this country, and I do. So anyway, enough of that. You saw the title of this video. Okay, to all of you who knows me, who knew that I traveled to a lot of countries. It's hard to keep count of the countries that I've been to. I've been to some countries around the world, and I'll just name them to all of you who knew me being who knew of me going to a lot of countries, and to all of you who don't know about me who don't know about me going to other countries. So I'll just go ahead and just name the countries that I went to. To any of you who are new to this channel. Okay, forgive me, I can't talk, so I'm gonna do my best. All right, I've been to, like, I think, well, I can't remember how many countries I've been to, so I'm just gonna name the countries that I've been to. Okay. Mexico, Canada, the United Kingdom, Belgium, Norway, Germany, France, Italy, Greece, Cyprus, Turkey, and China. So let me name these countries again and count. Okay. Count how many countries that I've been to. Okay. Mexico, Canada, United Kingdom, Belgium, Norway, Germany, France, Italy, Greece, Cyprus, Turkey, and China. Okay. I think I've been to like 12 countries. Well, anyway, I'll just give the number of countries that I've been to. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on this video. I mean, this video is long anyway, so let me get into this. Okay, in the past, I said that I didn't like Swedish people or Scandinavian people. I'm gonna say Scandinavian people. Well, the Swedes are part of the Scandinavian group, and I said that Scandinavian people, the Swedes, along with them, are people who are antisocial, standoffish, cold, distant, and I didn't like those people because of how they are. And I gotta be aware that every country I go to, the culture is completely different from the culture here in the US. And I'm gonna be moving to a country one day and living there. And yeah, I had my eye on France, but I'm seeing how France is, how bad it is. So I decided to move to another country, and plus, I've been learning French in order to speak French in France, and I've been putting off my French lessons and just been goofing off and doing a lot of diddling daddling. So I want to stop that, and just focus more on learning how to speak French, Francais, and and I might move to a country that has the French language. Um, I don't want to move to Canada, and I don't. I got nothing against Canada. I just don't want to move there, and I've been brainwashed by a bunch of Canadians. The Canadians who hate their country, and I got caught up in that. I've been brainwashed by them. So it's like this. Every country has their problems. All countries aren't perfect. All countries aren't better than one another. Just like being human. We're all human. We're all human beings. We're no better than one another. Okay, I'm gonna stop running my mouth and just read about the people of Sweden, the Swedish people. So let me get it. So let me get right down to it. All right. Swedish people are generally considered polite, honest, and helpful, but they are often reserved or are introverted, which can be mistaken for unfriendliness. While they value their personal space and rarely engage in small talk with strangers, they are often very loyal and open-minded once a friendship is established. They are generally very respectful and cooperative, preferring to avoid confrontation. Key characteristics of Swedish friendliness. Inadult reserve. Swedes tend to be quiet in public spaces, avoiding eye contact with strangers or focusing on their phones. This bubble is not intended to be rude, but it is a cultural norm. Polite and helpful. If approached, Swedes are typically helpful, polite, and capable of speaking English. Slow to warm up. Building friendships in Sweden can take time, but once established, they are often deep and long-lasting. Cultural context. Socializing often happens in planned contexts like Frinka, rather than spontaneous interactions. Respect for privacy. They strongly respect personal space and privacy, which may appear cold to more outgoing cultures. In short, Swedes are generally friendly but in a quiet, respectful, and less overtly expressive way. Okay, so so this explains why Swedish people, which are Scandinavians, this explains why they are the way they are. So they are actually friendly. The Swedes, or Swedish people, are actually friendly. Okay, I'm going to pick out what I found. Okay, Swedes tend to be quiet in public spaces, avoiding eye contact with strangers or focusing on their phones. Okay, the bubble is not intended to be rude, but it is a cultural norm. Okay. Um, I'm not a loud person, and I don't go around and running my mouth in public. I just keep quiet and just keep to myself, and I don't go around yelling and shouting in public. My sister will do something like that, but I won't do anything like that. So so I was kind of wrong on the Swedish people. So I just got to be respectful and respect their personal space and stay out of their private lives. And I know that there's some people here in the world that want to be private and keep to themselves, and they don't want to like talk about their personal lives in front of people. And I gotta learn, and I respect that, and I gotta do the same as well. So if I have some personal beef or stuff going on in my private life, I don't want to talk about it here on YouTube. I want to keep it to myself. But that doesn't mean I got to go around and put people down and judge people and look down on people. Yeah, like here in the U.S., you got people who will put someone down in their 40s if they're going around partying and acting like teenagers and kids. And I look at those people, and I'm not going to put them down. Yeah, I think they're too old to do what they do due to their age. I think they need to mature and grow up. But it's a freak, but they can do whatever they want. They're not hurting anybody. And that's that. And I want to mature. I want to grow up, and I'm having a hard time on what kind of videos that I want to make. So yeah. So I'll just talk about life and talk about nature and talk about different cultures and different countries. And going back to people in Sweden, I remember some American women were in Sweden, and they asked a person directions to somewhere, and that person just ignored them. Then the American women went to some other people and asked the same thing. When the American women approached some other people and asking them for directions to somewhere, when he went up to them, started talking, they just turned around and start running away and didn't want to hear or answer a question. They just ran away. So I guess the women were all wrong when they were talking to these Swedish people. So yeah, I'm not a rude person. I'm not a loudmouth person. Yeah, here in the U.S., Americans are viewed as are loud and rude, and they talk loud when they talk. And this is from Europeans, and I'm nothing like that. When I go out in public, I don't yell and shout or do anything. I talk in a very like soft-spoken, respectful tone. And I don't go around yelling and shouting and talking loud. I don't do that. And I remember I did this in the past because when I was talking to my parents are notorious of ignoring me when I talk to them. And when I start talking to like people from other countries and they ignore me, I go and tell my parents about it, and they say this to me: You always ignore us when we talk to you. Now you see how it feels. Well, I got this from my parents. I start ignoring them because they ignore me when I talk to them. So that's where that came from. So I want to talk more and speak more to people. And when I go to foreign countries, I got to be aware of the different cultures there, different cultures in other countries. And I can't do the things in those countries that I do here in the U.S. because in those countries, if I do things that I do here in the U.S., it's come across as disrespectful and not right. And I'm going to give the Scandinavian countries a chance. And if I fail in those countries because of those people and their culture, then I'm not going to go to Scandinavia at all. So I'm going to avoid and I don't like small talk, so I'm going to avoid small talk and talk more. Okay. And if a Swedish person want to avoid eye contact with strangers, I just gotta leave them alone if they're gonna ignore me. If someone ignores me, I just leave them alone and just move on. And that's just how I am. And I know that I can't talk to everybody. There's some people I can talk to. There's some people I cannot talk to. And I respect Winston Wu's view of different cultures. I agree with Winston on how the culture and how the people are here in the United States. I agree with him on that. And I see what he sees, but there's some things I don't agree with him on. So, and he got this thing about Taiwan and people saying that people in Taiwan are super friendly and Taiwan is great. And Winston said some things about the Taiwanese people in Taiwan, saying that the women and the people are not open and not sociable. And you got some people who disagree with him on that. And so I don't agree. So I'm not disrespecting Winston Wu, but there's some things I agree with him on. There's some things I don't agree with him on. And Winston announced that on his previous video on his YouTube channel, Happier Abroad, Escape USA and Date Foreign Women. He announced that he has ADHD. And that's why when I comment on one of his videos, he never comments. And I notice when I go on Facebook and try to hit him up on Facebook and message him, I don't get any replies because he has ADHD and he has his mind on something. So I think that explains why. And there was someone who come onto my channel and told me that I told him about Winston Wu, and they say this to me. I spoke to Winston Wu one time and that's about it. And it's the same with me too. Like, I spoke to him one time and that's about it. I think back when I was a new person and he discovered me and he featured one of the videos on his YouTube channel, and I remember that. So I lost touch with Winston. And if he ever stumbles on this video that I'm doing right now and it's posted on this channel, and he wants to talk, I'll talk. Hey, I can talk to people here on YouTube, on my YouTube channel in the comments. I'm very busy, but If someone comes on here and leave some insulting comments in the comment section on one of these videos, I'm just going to just ignore them. Because there's no point in me getting into a war with these people. Yeah, and the trolls. So I got to ignore them. If someone says what they want to say in a disrespecting manner, I'm going to speak less. And, you know, I have a tendency to like go on and on and on in the comments on a video on my YouTube channel, and I think that turns people off. So I'm gonna talk less. I'm gonna start doing that. Or if someone says some disrespectful things towards me in the comments, I'm just going to ignore them. Or if someone gives like cryptic messages, I'm not going to respond. I'm looking at you 217 champion. All right. And those cryptic comments, I'm just going to just give them a like and say nothing else. Or if someone who's talking normal and want to just act like a human being, yeah, I can engage in a conversation with them. So anyway, that's all I got to say in this video about Swedish people. Okay, I'm going to read what I just read again before I end this video. Swedish people are generally considered polite, honest, and helpful, but they are often reserved or inviolated, which can be mistaken for unfriendliness. While they value their personal space and rarely engage in small talk with strangers, they are often very loyal and open-minded once a friendship is established. They are generally very respectful and cooperative, preferring to avoid confrontations. Swedes tend to be quiet in public spaces, avoiding eye contact with strangers or focusing on their phones. This bubble is not intended to be rude, but is a cultural norm. If approached, Swedes are typically helpful, polite, and capable of speaking English. Building friendships in Sweden can take time, but once established, they are often deep and long-lasting. Socializing often happens in planned contacts, like the Franka, rather than spontaneous interactions. They strongly respect personal space and privacy, which may appear cold to more outgoing cultures. In short, Swedes are generally friendly, but in a quiet, respectful, and less overtly expressive way. And this is something I need to learn about. So I'm going to respect people's privacy. I'm not going to get in anybody's personal business. And I'm not going to talk about my personal business here on YouTube, and I'm going to keep that off of YouTube. So that's all I got to say in this video. And I made this video and when I checked my YouTube channel, I saw that I lost some subscribers because of that video that I posted about Greta Thunberg, and also on a video saying that YouTube is targeting my channel and I might get 3 strikes and this channel will be deleted. So this channel is not going anywhere. It's staying here on YouTube. And that's that. So New Manchester is staying on YouTube. All right. That's all I got to say in this video, and I apologize to everybody for this video to be long. I want to make shorter videos in the future to keep some attention onto videos like this. All right. That's all I got to say. Goodbye. Okay. How many countries have I been to? How many? I've been to 12 countries. Mexico, Canada, United Kingdom, Belgium, Norway, Germany, France, Italy, Greece, Cyprus, Turkey, and China. That's 12. I've been to 12 countries. I'm going to travel to more countries in the future. I'm going to live in a country of my choosing. It might be France or it might not be France. I'm going to see if France is going to get better, but if it stays the way it is, I'm not moving there. That's right. C'est la vie, c'est la vie, c'est la vie. Goodbye.